Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I am joined with...
Hey guys, it's Mike here from Laughingstock Media. How's it going?
And what will we be doing here today, Mike?
We're going to be talking about how strong we think that early teen Trunks is.
Now, just for those of you who don't know, this is a Dragon Ball Q episode, and Dragon Ball Q is where I do quick discussions trying to solve a question in the Dragon Ball community that has been debated for years, and a lot of people have always wondered how strong early teen Trunks is. So, Mike, would you like to talk about the specific type of early teen Trunks we're discussing before we get into the discussion?
Yes, the early teen Trunks that we're referring to in this case is the younger version of future Trunks that before he came to the past. So this is the Trunks that in the anime who helped fight alongside Gohan and who found Gohan's dead body when he turned Super Saiyan.
Right. So without wasting any more time, Mike and I are going to get straight into this video. So, Mike, by using both the anime and the manga, why don't you use the anime to justify how strong you think early future teen Trunks is?
Okay, well, going by the anime, future teen Trunks has definitely been training with a much more powerful Gohan for a long period of time. And of course, in the anime, considering that he was training under a Gohan who was able to handle both the androids on his own before he was eventually overpowered and defeated despite having the one arm, and the fact that he was able to get a sneak attack in on 18, which might have even dealt damage, and the fact that he was able to fight 18 on some sort of ground before he was eventually overbeaten, I would have to say that he is a pretty decently powerful in the anime.
How powerful would you say?
In the anime, maybe as a Super Saiyan, it's really hard to figure out, but it's highly possible that he's in the millions range in his base in the anime.
Right. Now, here's what I wanted to point out about the manga, guys, and the manga is completely different, as Mike would probably agree. In the manga, we see early future teen Trunks as a Super Saiyan before future Gohan's death. That's a huge difference. He didn't need Gohan to die to go Super Saiyan first. He was already a Super Saiyan. And when you factor in several things, number one, with future Gohan being significantly weaker than Android 17, being so much weaker to the point that when he saw 17, he had a terrified look on his face when 17 told him that he used less than half of his power. And when you factor in the early future teen Trunks was training with future Gohan in the manga in his base form, and future Gohan was able to basically hold his own and block and dodge all of early future teen Trunks' hits as a Super Saiyan, and it did seem like Trunks was giving a lot of his power. That would definitely tell me that early future teen Trunks is so much weaker than the anime counterpart that he's probably even weaker than his anime counterpart even as a Super Saiyan when you factor in the difference in his power, and here is why. Let's look at the anime and the manga, for example. When we look at the manga, considering the fact the Super Saiyan is not even stronger than Gohan in his base form, that definitely tells me that if future Gohan is not that much stronger than what Goku was on Namek, considering the fact that future Gohan we would guesstimate would be in the 4 to 5 million range in his base form when you use a 50 times multiplier to get him to at least 200 million.
In the anime and the manga heavily imply that future Gohan is weaker than Goku when he returned from Yardrat or during the period of time before he died.
Right, so that definitely means if he's probably weaker than what Goku was when he returned from Yardrat, or at least in those years before Goku passed away, that would mean that at most Goku's power would probably be 250 mil, which would mean that I would say future Gohan is probably at least 200 million minimum. So that would tell me that if future Gohan is around a power level of a 200 million as a Super Saiyan, definitely being able to take on King Cole and Frieza, but not necessarily being stronger than Goku, and definitely being a lot weaker than less than half the power of the androids, this would tell me that future early teen Trunks as a Super Saiyan would probably have a power level of around the Ginyu Force range in his base form. What do you say to that, Mike?
Yes, and as a Super Saiyan, yes, I completely agree with what you're saying. And to take it a step further, factoring that in the 50 times multiplier, for example, and considering that it does certainly seem like he puts up all that he can against Gohan in his base, I would have to say that I would probably peg him around the power of the third form or xenomorph-looking Frieza.
So you're saying that maybe early future teen Trunks is probably a little bit stronger than Frieza's third form at most?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's also compare him to Kid Trunks and Goten, because Kid Trunks and Goten are around the same. When you use the manga, even though it's implied that 18 is still stronger than both Goten and Trunks, they did say that in the manga, well, our blast wouldn't hurt her because she's 18, and they also said that she used to be stronger than our dads, giving her some respect and power to at least suggest that she's stronger than them. But considering the fact that when 18 looked at their blast, she seemed very impressed. It could be because she thought Mighty Max was extremely strong for a regular human, but I personally think that because of the fact that she said this is getting dangerous and she wanted to end the fight earlier, would mean that Goten and Trunks were at least somewhat comparable to her. Not definitely enough to beat her, but enough to let me say that Kid Trunks from the main timeline and Goten are significantly stronger than early Future Teen Trunks as a Super Saiyan. Would you like to make a final point in saying how strong you would compare them to late Teen Trunks or late Future Teen Trunks?
I think that they're far more comparable to late Future Teen Trunks. I think that there's an argument to be made that they're somewhere around the same ballpark. However, I don't necessarily think that the kids are as strong as Frieza, and the reason for this is because using the jump special, and this is even after they used the hyperbolic time chamber and fought Boo and fused and all this other stuff, it still says that they're around Frieza each. So when it comes to that, I would definitely have to say, though, that they're vastly superior in terms of strength to early Teen Trunks in the Future Trunks timeline.
Alright, well that does it pretty well. I think we got a pretty good discussion out of this for today. These are our Dragon Ball Qs, guys. If you guys have, any more ideas that you want us to do, little quick discussions to solve a debate, we all agree that if we use the anime, we're estimating he's probably, I would say, at least a power level of maybe 1 million in his base form, and probably a 50 million when you use the Super Saiyan multiplier, considering how much of a better fight Future Gohan put up in the actual anime. But when you look at early Future Teen Trunks, which is what the main series is basing the anime off of, I would definitely say that early Future Teen Trunks is so much weaker. He's probably stronger than a mid-level Ginyu Force member at most in his base form, and as a Super Saiyan, he could probably take on Frieza in his third form at most.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts.
Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave Laughingstock Media in the description for you guys to check him out, and I hope you guys enjoy his content and check out more videos on my channel. So most importantly, over everything else, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.
See you later.